indicate that they're applying for loss mitigation, and first lien position must be maintained, i.e., there can be no clouds on title. Okay? You might notice that when you work with a servicer on an FHA loan, it might seem to take a little bit more time to get an answer. It could be because they're waiting on title results, because they will need to pull a title report.
Couldn't they first ask a second to resubordinate?
They could ask junior liens to subordinate their lien, but most of the time, the knee-jerk reaction will just be to do a partial claim. If they've already done a partial claim and don't have that option anymore, it is then an option to maybe ask the junior liens to subordinate, and HUD will subordinate the partial claim lien too. So, does that make sense? Okay. Relative to subprime investors, again, this is anything that I say today relative to subprime is very, very general. There are literally thousands of subprime investors, so to paint it with, there's no other thing to do but to paint it with very broad strokes, okay? Most of the time, though, in our experience, they are looking for the borrower to have made at least 12 monthly payments to be considered for a modification, okay? All right. I don't think we need the simple example on modification. Are you guys all comfortable that you know what a modification is and how it works? Okay. Well, I invite you to kind of look at it in your spare time if you want to. You can see that, actually I do want to actually look at slide number 18, which is page number 9. Interest rate reductions are a possibility with modifications. We talked earlier about fixing the rate. If it's an FHA modification of an adjustable rate loan, so an FHA ARM, you have to fix it. Okay, it will become via a modification a fixed rate loan. Okay, you can also request the same of any other loan type. You just might be told no. In the situation of subprime investors, the feeling is they qualified for that loan and for the adjustable rate, for probably the higher rate, because of their past payment history, because of their credit score, because of their lack of credit, what have you. They've quote unquote proven their higher risk status by defaulting. They're less likely to, I guess, for lack of a better term, reward that borrower by reducing the interest rate or fixing the rate. Now, it has happened. The Chase-owned subprime stuff that we service, where we're the investor on the subprime loan, on the subprime side, we will fix the rate or fix it for 3 years, and then it goes back to adjustable or what have you. So it's definitely something that you can ask for, but actually reducing the rate is actually pretty rare. Definitely something to ask for, but a more likely concession from the servicer is that the term be extended back out to the original term. So if just a flat modification, taking the past due amount, adding it onto the unpaid principal balance and re-amortizing for the remaining term doesn't get affordability down where you would like it, you can always ask for the term to be extended back out to the original term. That might help affordability a bit, and you can certainly ask for the interest rate adjustment. You just might be told no. Okay? On slide 19 is a real-world example of a modification that Chase actually facilitated. I just want to call attention to the fact that this loan, even though 21 payments past due, was still eligible for a modification. A lot of people, I'm sorry, not 21 payments past due, 10 payments past due. I was looking down below. 10 payments past due. A lot of people assume that once you get beyond 5, 6, 7 payments past due that there's no options to help. There can be. The borrower's financial situation just has to be able to reflect the ability to afford it going forward. Or in this case, I believe this is the one where the borrower, no, this isn't the one. The borrower had an okay contribution and was able, based on their $350 a month surplus, to afford the modified payment, which I think increased by, about $100 a month, the monthly payment, so they could absorb that increase and qualified for the modification. So I'm not going to say that it's never too late. If you call a servicer the day of, the day before, maybe even a couple days before sale, unless the borrower has a huge chunk of change in hand, you're probably not going to be able to get a loss mitigation deal accommodated. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. It's certainly something to ask for if that happens. But, you know, within reason, it's not too late that if the financial situation is a good one and one that has future promise and long-term ability to